ke Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Gokula Tarini Mandala Mohite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. O Radha, O beloved of Madhava, O you who are worshipped by all the young girls of Gokul, all glory is unto you, all glory is unto you. O you who dress yourself in such a way as to increase Lord Damodar's love and attachment for you. O Queen of Lord Hari's pleasure grove, Vrindavan, which is pleasure grove of Lord Hari. O new moon who arisen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu. O friend of Lalita, O you who make Visakha loyal to you, due to your wonderful qualities of friendliness, kindness, and faithfulness to Krishna. O you who are filled with compassion, O you whose divine characteristics are described by the great sages Sanaka and Sanatana. O most merciful Radha, please be merciful to me. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jasodanandana Vrajajanaranjana. Jasodanandana Vrajajanaranjana. Yamunatira vanachari Yamunatira vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Jasodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Jamunatira vanachari Yamunatira vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami, Nayana Pathagami, Bhavatu me. Jaya Gauranitai Jaya, Gauranitai Jaya, Gauranitai Jaya, Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada. Sri Gauranitai ki jai, Sri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Sri Jagannath Subhadra Baladev ki jai. Jai Om Vishupad Paramam Saparivar Kacharya Ashtotara Sata Sri Srimati Svangdes Esi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishupad Paramam Saparivar Kacharya Ashtotara Sata Sri Srimati Svangdes Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, श्रीमती तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय। श्री श्री गौनीताई की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ सुभद्रा बलदेव की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to the Samalivatis. All glories to the Samalivatis. All glories to the Samalivatis. All glories to Sri Guru Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vasavutare. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve. Gauravani Pacharine. Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Devatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first skanda, 19th chapter, sloka number 13. Atrina choditaha hantum prituputraha maharataha anvadhavata sankruddaha tishta tishta iti cha abravit. Atrina chodito hantum prituputro maharataha anvadhavata sankruddaha tishta tishteti cha bravit. Atrina chodito hantum prituputro maharataha anvadhavata sankruddaha tishta tishteti cha bravit. Atrina chodito hantum prituputro maharataha anvadhavata sankruddaha tishta tishteti cha bravit. Anyone else? Matajis? Atrina, by the great sage Atri, Choditaha, being encouraged, Hantum, to kill, Prituputraha, the son of King Prithu, Maharataha, a great hero, Anvadhavata, followed, Sankruddaha, being very angry, Tishta, Tishta, just wait, iti, thus, cha, also, abravit, he said. Translation. When the son of King Prithu was informed by Atri of King Indra's trick, he immediately became very angry and followed Indra to kill him, calling, "Wait, wait." Please repeat. When the son of King Prithu was informed by Atri of King Indra's trick, he immediately became very angry and followed Indra to kill him, calling, "Wait, wait." Purport by Zimangre Sesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The words Tishta Tishta are used by Kshatriya when he challenges his enemy. When fighting, a Kshatriya cannot flee from the battlefield. However, when a Kshatriya out of cowardice flees from the battlefield, showing his back to his enemy, he is challenged with the words Tishta Tishta. A real Kshatriya does not kill his enemy from behind, nor does a real Kshatriya turn his back on the battlefield. According to Kshatriya principle and spirit, one either attains victory or dies on the battlefield. Although King Indra was very exalted, being the king of heaven, he became degraded due to his stealing the horse intended for sacrifice. Therefore he fled without observing the Kshatriya principles. And the son of Prithu had to challenge him with the words Tishta, Tishta. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurnanmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavansya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vitansya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This chapter is entitled The King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices, but actually he could not make it up to 100. He completed 99. The reason is that when he was performing the last one, 100 horse sacrifice, Ashwamedha Yagya, at that time Indra became very much anxious for his own position. He became envious of King Prithu. King Prithu was going to qualify himself for the post of Indra by performing 100 horse sacrifices, Ashwamedha Yagya. Just like Lord Brahma, there is a file, what is called, queue for the post of Brahma. In the queue, only those who have, for 100 lifetimes, successfully completed the Varnashram Dharma, ideal citizen, ideal in every respect according to Vedic scriptures, they are becoming qualified to become Brahma. So in this way also, Indra is called Satakratu, meaning that he has performed in the past 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas, and therefore he got the post of Indra. So anybody who also performs Satakratu, then he is qualified to become Indra next. Indra is changing now from every Mahakalpa of this, at the time of a change of Manu. There are 14 Manus in one day of Lord Brahma. And Manu lasts in this way 71 Mahakalpa. Mahakalpa means the succession of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So that is one kalpa. And 1,000 is one day of Brahma. And 71 is the life of Manu. This is also the life of the demigods, including Indra. So Indra's post is not permanent. He is subject to change at least every 71 of these kalpas. And therefore, he is always anxious to continue as best as possible so that he may enjoy the facilities of heaven to the maximum for a large amount of time. But here is a threat to his post in the person of King Prithu, and therefore he wants to spoil this Aswamedha Yagya. Aswamedha Yagya is a very complicated and very costly arrangement. Here, a few years ago, in exhibition ground, there was also Aswamedha Yagya, according to the publicity they have made. They had invited 1,000 brahmanas and one sannyasi from North India had come to supervise the Aswamedha Yagya. So their publicity was that the first Aswamedha Yagya from the time of, what's it called? The son of Maharaj Parikshit. Huh? Huh? Janmejaya. Yes, from the time of Janmejaya, they had advertised like this, the first Aswamedha Yagya. We went there just to see what's happening, how they are conducting this Aswamedha Yagya. Actually, nothing happened. It was just a show. We remember that also from the teachings of Madhvacharya, that some Aswamedha Yagya was being performed when Madhvacharya was on his tour, and he saw one king as somewhere near the coast of Kerala. He was also performing Aswamedha Yagya. And when Sripad Madhvacharya saw this, he became very much concerned. What is the fate of the horse? Because in the Kali Yuga, these brahmanas don't have the sufficient strength to give life to the horse. Otherwise, earlier, the horse being sacrificed would be again revived and obtain the human life. That was the strength of the brahmanas at that time. But when Madhvacharya appeared, see, about 800 or 900 years ago, so at that time, there was no qualification, no sufficient qualification for these brahmanas and the king to perform Aswamedha Yagya. So Madhvacharya gave advice to the king. He said to him that why you are keeping horse here for sacrifice, you put, instead of that, instead of a real horse, you put Pishtapasu. Pishtapasu means, Pishta is some type of preparation made of rice and dal, something, some sweet preparation, Pishta. Very simple, Pasu. So Madhvacharya called it Pishta Pasu. You install, instead of the horse, you put this Pishta, it will become Pishta Pasu. And in this way you can conduct if you want, you conduct your yagya like this. But don't keep a real horse. You keep only Pishta Pasu. So that was the instruction at that time, Madhvacharya. So Madhvacharya did not steal the horse, but he replaced it by Pishta. And that has the same effect. So here Indra wanted to spoil the sacrifice by stealing the horse. And in what dress? He came there, first of all, invisible. He has the capacity to become invisible. That is power which the demigods may have as a routine yogic siddhi. And then he put the dress of a sannyasi. So in the dress of a sannyasi, he was taking away the horse. Atri Muni saw that actually he is not a sannyasi, he is Indra himself, and he has come to steal the horse. So he advised Prithuputra, the son of Prithu Maharaj, to go and kill this Indra. he has done a very great sin by stealing the horse first of all and putting on the dress of a sannyasi. That is a cheating sannyasi. So from that time onwards, that was in Satya Yuga, and from that time onwards, Indra inaugurated this episode of a cheating sannyasi, which now has become very prominent, especially in the age of Kali, which is the age of hypocrisy. So hypocrisy means that you want to appear something different from what you are. Or you dress yourself just like Indra as a sannyasi, and you do all type of nonsense. So that from Indra onwards, it has been going on, and nowadays in Kali Yuga, it is very prominent. Actually, Srila Prabhupada was very much conscious of this, of course. He had a practical experience how the so-called sannyasis in Vrindavan and other holy places are indulging in sinful activities. Just like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Dushtaman, he wrote a poetry, Dushtaman. Oh, Dushtaman, you are adopting the livelihood, the dress of a renounced order, sannyasi, and you go to a secluded place, preferably holy place, just like Vrindavan, and you go into seclusion, and you chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Mahamantra. But what is in your mind, Dushtaman? What is your mind? You are after money and women. That is what is in your mind. Honor, prestige, adoration, money, women, these are the thoughts that are occupying the minds of this type of sannyasi. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, in this way, in this poem, Dushtaman, he describes the position of those who are just like Indra, in the succession of Indra, taking the dress of a sannyasi, making a show, and actually engaging in sinful activities. So Srila Prabhupada also was very much aware of this danger. But at the same time, he wanted that among my disciples there should be some leading preachers. And for that reason, he gave sannyas order to some of his disciples after careful consideration. Here in 1973, month of March, Mahamsa became sannyasi, Mahamsa Swami. At that time, Hariprasad Bhadruka told Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, this disciple is only 23 years old. Why are you giving sannyas to this young disciple? And Prabhupada said, yes, only for preaching purpose, I'm giving sannyas to some of these disciples. Prabhupada was well aware that there is a great danger that this young sannyasi also would be captured by Maya. And this happened many occasions. But here Indra is not ordinary person. He is the chief of all the demigods. So certainly whatever sin he commits has a great consequence upon all the demigods and the entire universe. So when Atri saw that Indra was doing this, he was very much concerned with the situation. And he told Prithuputra that you go after this and you kill him. Prithuputra, remember, one of Prabhupada's disciples was also sannyasi. Prithuputra Swami is a French sannyasi. He was here in India for some time. So at that time, we could not understand what is the meaning of Prithuputra. But now from this sloka, the word Prithuputra is mentioned. So immediately we remember this Prabhupada disciple, Prithuputra Swami. So he was a great Maharatha. Maharatha is one who can fight against 10,000 soldiers or elephants. No, just like on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, there were quite a few of these Maharatha. And they were fighting against each other. So it's a very high qualification among the Kshatriyas. And Prithuputra has that qualification. And therefore he went behind Indra and on the order of Atri, pushed by Atri, he was going to kill Indra. Of course, maybe he didn't know that was Indra, but he understood he's a false sannyasi. But he was little confused. And afterwards it will be described that when he came near to Indra, then he understood, oh, he is a sannyasi. How can I kill him? A Kshatriya can never kill a Brahmana or sannyasi. That is completely against his regulative principle. There is no question of a Kshatriya going against a sannyasi. Even demons, Kshatriya demons, just like Jarasandha. Jarasandha was very respectful to Brahmanas. And Lord Krishna wanted to kill Jarasandha. So he thought that let us take these 5 Pandavas and let them dress themselves as Brahmanas. Let us go and see Jarasandha. So these Pandavas in the dress of Brahmanas, they came to Jarasandha and they were received very politely with great honor by Jarasandha, thinking that they are Brahmanas. But Jarasandha had some doubt. He could see they don't look like Brahmanas. They look very strongly built. How can a Brahmana is not built like this? So Jarasandha had some doubt in mind. How can they be Brahmanas? And Lord Krishna told them, oh, these are the Pandavas. So anyway, then Jarasandha understood, the Pandavas have come to me, but I don't want to fight. Who is this Arjuna? He's a small boy. He is not courageous. But Bhima, yes, I'll fight against Bhima. So in this way, that is a Kshatriya understanding to fight against each other as equal. Kshatriya will not fight against a weak element. He didn't want to fight against Arjuna. He's a small fly. But Bhima, okay, I'll fight against Bhima. So for many days like that. So here, in the purpose, Srila Prabhupada gives explanation about Kshatriya Dharma. The Kshatriya Dharma is that they have many rules on the battlefield to observe. For instance, the Kshatriyas engaged in war. That is only during daytime, from sunset to sunrise. And when there is sunset, then the war is over for the night. No more fighting. And they go to their camp and they visit each other in their own camps. They go to the enemy's camp and with great friendship, they embrace each other and they joke. They spend their time like this with the enemy. But at that time, the enemy is not to be fought over. After sunset, no fighting. So therefore, when there was a question of killing, what was his name? I forgot. Lord Krishna, there was time for sunset. And Lord Krishna stopped the sun. Don't set now. he gave order to the sun. You wait for some time. So the enemy, the Kauravas, they thought now sunset already happened, so our fight is over. But the Pandavas understood that because of Krishna's will, the sun is not setting, and in this way killed. I forgot who was killed at that time. Huh? Jadratha. Jadratha was killed after sunset, which is against the Kshatriya Dharma. But because it is Krishna's will, it is supreme Dharma. There is no question of adharma following Krishna's order. Yudhishthira Maharaj was very much also following all the Kshatriya Dharma. He would never tell any lie from the time of his birth, from the beginning. Yudhishthira Maharaj never told a lie in his life, following strictly Dharma in this way. And when Lord Krishna told him, you tell Aswatthama is dead, or Yudhishthira, no, how can I tell Aswatthama is dead? No. So he was confused because that is, on the one hand, this is against Kshatriya Dharma, but on the other hand, that is Krishna's instruction. So what he will do now? Then he just said, Aswatthama is dead. No. So in this way, his father, Dronacharya, could not understand properly. He said Aswatthama, the elephant, in a slow, in a fainted voice, is dead. So what Dronacharya understood, that Aswatthama is dead. He did not hear the word the elephant, because another elephant at that time, Aswatthama, was already killed. So in this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj made a compromise between Dharma and following Krishna's order. And for that reason, he had to see hell. Some people say that Yudhishthira went to hell because he spoke a lie against Dharma. But the real reason is that Yudhishthira went to hell for some time because he went against Krishna's instruction. So Krishna's instruction is paradharma. Whatever Krishna says, that should be followed. There is no question of dharma, adharma. This Varnashram dharma is the beginning of human civilization. By following Varnashram dharma, Brahmana dharma, Kshatriya dharma, Vaishya dharma, Shudra dharma, by following these rules and regulations, gradually human beings become elevated to a higher platform. They can reach spiritual understanding, and from that point, they can reach Krishna consciousness. So here, Kshatriya dharma is mentioned here, that when the Kshatriyas are fighting against each other, they have to face each other. One Kshatriya will not fight against another one who is showing his back. If a Kshatriya is running away from the battlefield, then he cannot be killed in this manner from the backside. He has to face. Therefore, here Pitruputra is telling Indra, hey, stop there, stop, come and you see me face to face. Then only Pitruputra will be able to kill Indra. Otherwise, according to Kshatriya Dharma, he is not entitled. That would be against the principle. So, of course, a Kshatriya is not supposed to run away from the battlefield. And that is here, from the Bhagavad Gita, we understand that Lord Krishna's instruction to Arjuna. Arjuna didn't want to fight in this battlefield of Kurukshetra against the Kauravas. Everything was made ready. The two armies were there against each other. So why Arjuna is not willing to fight? Why his superiors are there? So he doesn't want to harm his superiors. But this is the order of Lord Krishna. And that after telling the entire Bhagavad Gita, Lord and Arjuna will come to the proper understanding. At the beginning, he doesn't want to fight because that would go against the rules and regulations. Nobody can fight against the superiors. They should be of equal status. But this is the order of Krishna. But at that time, Arjuna is not ready still. His mind is not prepared for that. So therefore, Lord Krishna is teaching the entire Bhagavad Gita for Arjuna so that he can realize that his duty is to fight against the Kauravas and kill them. So in this way, here taking from the second chapter, 32nd sloka, Lord Krishna says, Yadrichaya chopavannam swarga dwaram apavritam sukhina kshatriya partha labhante yuddhamidrisam. O Partha, happy are the kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. Atachettvamimam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tata swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papamavapsyasi. If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. So, a supreme teacher of the world, Lord Krishna condemns the attitude of Arjuna, who said, I do not find any good in this fighting. It will cause perpetual habitation in hell. Such statements by Arjuna were due to ignorance only. He wanted to become non-violent in the discharge of his specific duty. For a Kshatriya to be on the battlefield and to become non-violent is the philosophy of fools. In the Parasara Smriti of religious codes made by Parasara, the great sage and father of Vyasadeva, it is stated, Kshatriyo hi praja rakshan shastrapani parandayan drijitya parasanyadi chitim dharmena palayet. The Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens from all kinds of difficulties, and for that reason, he has to apply violence in suitable cases for law and order. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings, and thus, with religious principles, he should rule over the world. So these are some of the principles that Srila Prabhupada explains following the teachings of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Non-violence is not a valid principle for Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas have to apply violence at certain times, not in all circumstances, but according to certain principles. They have to be violent, and sometimes they have to kill the enemy. Just like if somebody is a surgeon, he cannot say, oh, I don't want to do any violent act. I am following principle of non-violence. So even though I'm a surgeon, I will not do any surgery. That is very against my principle. So how can he be a surgeon if he is not doing violence also sometimes? So for higher good, for maintaining law and order, or for, in the case of a surgeon, to cure a particular disease, violence has to be applied. And here Prithuputra was certainly qualified and entitled to apply violence. But Indra, completely going against all principles, taking away the horse in the dress of a sannyasi, running away from this Ashwamedha Yajna in this manner. So that is the situation here, and that will be described later on in the following verses. So I wanted to end this Bhagavatam and speak one or two words because I'm not qualified to speak about today's anniversary. Still, we have to remember Lalita Sakhi, as Rupa Goswami also composed a very beautiful Ashtakam, Lalita Ashtakam. Maybe you can read Lalita Ashtakam afterwards. And Rupa Goswami also composed Lalita Madhava, pastimes of Lord Krishna and the Sakhis. So we are singing also daily prayers to Tulasi Devi. What is that? Veda. I just forgot. Huh? Yes, Sakira Anugata. Yes, yes. So we are, this third stanza in the song addressed to Tulasi Devi, that I have a desire in my mind, I have a strong desire. I'm holding that desire in mind, that please make me a servant of your Saki, Lalita, and give me also the qualification to be such a servant. We have no qualification, but it is only by the mercy of the eternal associates of Lord Krishna and the spiritual master that we can make advancement in our spiritual life and come to the point of eternal association with the Lord as one of the assistants of the Sakis. Not Sakis. Sakis are very exalted, just like Lalita, Visakha. They are eternal associates of Srimati Radharani, very exalted associates. They are Sakis. And the assistants of the Sakis are called Manjaris. So Manjari is very much appreciated by the great acharyas following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially Bhaktivinoda Thakur and others. They want their goal. They are constantly meditating how to achieve the qualification of becoming Manjari, assistant of the Sakis. So Lalita is the most important of all the Sakis, friends of Srimati Radharani. Sunday, we are celebrating Radhashtami, the anniversary appearance of Srimati Radharani. We cannot approach Krishna directly. We have to approach Lord Krishna only through the Sakis, Srimati Radharani and the Lalita Visakha. We can approach them so that we may become qualified to enter into this association of the Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. So today we remember in this way Lalita the eternal companion, friend of Srimati Radharani. Any other questions or comments? Hare Krishna.
Thanks for giving the opportunity. How to make the people who had scriptures with a lesser quantity of subject matter with association of the Lord. Example, Muslims or Christians or other anybody. So how to make them to get elevated to chant the holy names for being in association of Lord, which being told in the scriptures, and also about this association of higher standard, or make them availed, please.
Yeah, it seems to be almost like an impossible task. Living in the material world, till just a few years ago, we were completely ignorant in a conditioned state. Still, we are conditioned. And we are still fighting against Maya at every moment, practically speaking. Of course, some of the disciples are very exalted personalities, but others may have to struggle. And what to speak of reaching the highest position of being an eternal associate of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. So it seems like such a gap, millions and millions of miles, how to go to the gap. But Lord Srila Prabhupada gave us the formula or the recipe in order to elevate ourselves. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Manmana Bhavanat Bhakta. Always thinking of Krishna in this manner, chanting His holy names, and engaging in the service of Lord Krishna. Practically 24 hours a day, we should be busy in Krishna's service, either by bodily or by speech or by mind. Always thinking of Krishna, even when taking rest also. Here we remember how Srila Prabhupada, while taking rest, quoting slokas from Bhagavad Gita. We were surprised. We thought Prabhupada is sleeping. That type of sleep he was having, quoting from Bhagavad Gita. So that is what Srila Prabhupada exemplified, and he gave us the formula to elevate ourselves, always remaining in association with the devotees, eating only Krishna Prasadam. In this way, if we can spend our life, then certainly we shall qualify ourselves to become engaged in Krishna consciousness. And as Prabhupada explained, if we have reached a certain purity in our Krishna consciousness, then after leaving this body, we become promoted to a different universe where Lord Krishna is Leelas, and we are able to participate in the Leelas of Lord Krishna in a different universe. And from that place, go to Goloka Vrindavan. So the complete program is there. We have to follow the program. We cannot expect that not following rules and regulations as defined by Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This sadhana bhakti is, first of all, we have to follow. Then there's bhava bhakti, and then prema bhakti. So from one stage to the next stage, we have to progress. So that is the program that Prabhupada has given us. And by following this simple principle, with sincerity and keeping in mind the final goal, then we certainly, as Prabhupada guarantees, we shall be successful by Lord Krishna's mercy. So we should not have any doubt, even though the distance and the gap is very big, but we have to sincerely follow the program.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Lalita Shashti ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.